this what you want? Aren't you craving this? Is like, shouldn't the quartering be like a lot of bad things have happened, but good news, everyone. We got WAP. It's happened. Like, what the fuck? All right, so Candace Owens versus Cardi B. I mean, this one ain't new, but it's been going on for some time now. It's been going on for some time. I don't know if you remembered when WAP originally came out, it became the culture war darling of the right wing. They got obsessed with this whole thing. As soon as it began, they're like, oh my, how horrible. There's so many fucked up things going on in the world right now. Like, so many fucked up things, you know, 1 in 5 prisoners in the US has COVID. The climate change ain't going away no more. I mean, we got 9% less CO2 output last year, but that was mainly because of the whole lockdowns thing globally, and they're not doing so much cruise ships anymore and air traffic and stuff like that. But still, climate change, very, very real. And yet it seems like the right has been capable of focusing on dry ass pussies. They've been focusing on Dr. Seuss, focusing on Mr. Potato Head, Pepe Le Pew, Peter Pan, Lola Bunny. Can't forget about Lola Bunny. Someone posted a Lola. Oh yeah, good memes. Good memes, Jama Music. You got that one down. There's that. Anyways, the war between Cardi B and Candace Owens went pretty hard last time. Both of them trading barbs back and forth. And then I guess Candace Owens and the culture war kind of left WAP behind. Ben Shapiro, of course, did his own take on WAP, did his own WAP rap, so to speak. And then Candace Owens, so I should say Cardi B actually performed WAP live at the Grammys, which of course led to Candace Owens going on the Tucker Carlson show to talk about degeneracy and how they're absolutely degenerate, these women and their sexuality. And so Cardi B and Candace were doing the online Twitter sphere, the war yesterday, war of words.
Like, for instance, if you're watching a TV show and you decide to take your values from that, you're an idiot. Maybe you should take responsibility for what values your kids are getting. Maybe you shouldn't be letting your kids watch certain shows in the first place if you have such a big problem with them, instead of blaming the shows themselves.
Gotta say, for like a pretty asinine show at this point, it's a relatively good take. Family Guy's got like 4 or 5 good takes that still resonate, and of course everyone still uses the meme where the colorization of somebody will dictate whether or not they're a terrorist. Going down from there. Anyways, Candace tweets out that she's got a new TV show dropping, and thanks to her war of words with Cardi B, which she fully knows what she's doing. She's quite adept at manipulating Twitter and the media to her own goals, as well as infuriating people with her own rhetoric. So she got herself hyped up. Cardi B calls her out. I'm not your hype man. I'm your mother. You look for me when you need help in your career, not the other way around. You need me. I don't need you. And I'll say thank you. You mummy Belgas. They went back and forth. Your show is not the trending topic. Actually, the description says you were trending for arguing with your mother about her wet ass pussy, not your show. Ain't nobody came to see you, Otis. Cardi B and commentator Candace Owens come to a head on women and sexuality following the rapper's performance of her hit song WAP at the Grammys last week. And, you know, this went back and forth. And then the lawsuit began. I don't know if everyone knows about the lawsuit, all right? Cardi B tweets out a tweet that apparently Candace Owens said that her husband had cheated on her, which... You know where I stand in this argument, right? You know whose side I take.
Chair recognizes Representative Carpenter to your right for a question.
Does the gentleman yield?
My light's red, Mr. Speaker. I yield.
Is it not true that this bill will provide safety measures to ensure that Cardi B's backside implants will be safe and ensure a lifetime of effectiveness?
You promised me you wouldn't get into this booty bill thing. But yes, this provides protection for any type of procedure in an outpatient setting. Any further questions?
So that's basically where I stand on this. Well, you know, I'd support Cardi B in her endeavors against Candace Owens, but I gotta be frank. The fact check on this one turns out to be a stronghold false. Yes, conservative pundit Candace Owens posted a message on Twitter reading, "Yes, my husband did cheat on me with my brother. Yes, he said no when I asked to join them." Turns out it's completely lied. It's false. It's false. March 17, 2021, a few days after conservative pundit Candace Owens criticized rapper Cardi B over her performance of WAP at the Grammy Awards, the rapper hit back on social media, sharing a screenshot of a tweet Owens supposedly posted in November 2020. The alleged tweet from Owens read, "Yes, my husband did cheat on me with my brother. Yes, he said no when I asked to join them." Now, I would have probably not tweeted this out if I was Cardi B in general, because it does not read like anything Candace Owens would ever write. Like it just looks like a fake tweet from the get-go. Still, when Owens pushed back saying it was Photoshop, Cardi B posted screenshots from several contemporary blog articles that reported on tweeted and deleted messages. While it's true that several websites published articles about the alleged tweet back in November 2020, we found no evidence this message was actually posted to Owens' account. It should be noted that none of the articles provided a link to the allegedly deleted tweet. The most ambiguous language stated that it seemed like Owens posted the message. When a message is posted to Twitter, it becomes associated with a unique URL. While people often delete their tweets, you can usually find traces of deleted messages via the now broken URLs. In this case, however, we've yet to see any links back to Owens' alleged deleted tweet. Furthermore, we searched the Wayback Machine and the Internet Archive for any record of the alleged deleted message and came up empty. Without a URL to work with, we searched for the archives of Owens' entire Twitter timeline. On November 16, 2020, her timeline was archived 6 times throughout the day. The "my husband cheated on me" message does not appear on any of those archive pages. So it looks like this one is a false. It's a falsity. It was an old screenshot, but it's a fake screenshot. It would seem. Now, whether or not this means that Cardi B is in real legal trouble remains to be seen, because Cardi B is stating that I'm actually tweeting something that appeared on multiple blogs, which is true. But if you are Cardi B and you tweet out just the tweet itself by Candace Owens and saying, hey, you tweeted this, that is pretty cut and dry slander, unfortunately.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, The Pascal Show. One word, hit that like button down below. And let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this
Man, I got to improve my branding. That's good. Okay, I'm just like, hey, thanks for coming. Hope you're having fun, everybody. Thank you for subscribing. I don't know why my voice is cracking, but anyways, hit the like button. Comment below.
A lot of us have been talking about it earlier in the live show.
That is your brand.
Tuesday through Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and a Monday through Friday morning show at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So go find me, join the fun, join the chaos,
thanks,
and all
Ashley.
that. But during the live show, we were talking about Candace Owens suing, officially 100% suing Cardi B for defamation in a defamation suit. Now, everybody's wondering what was going on. What was the reason why? Because I was looking and I couldn't find the tweet. Well, I finally found it in this article, thanks to this the wonderful.
I got a question. This one's going to be totally out of the blue, but this one relates back to our good friend the quartering. I'm confused. Why is the right wing obsessed with this to the point where they say that this is going to destroy children, degeneracy, all that kind of stuff? And on the other side, they're really upset that there's no longer titties in kids' cartoons or kids' video games or even modern video games for adults. Like, they're really, really upset. Like, hey, don't touch your representation of giant hentai women with enormous jugs. I don't want you to ever change that. And at the same time, this is degenerate. I don't want to see it. Isn't that weird? Like, isn't one of them is real? Like, you know, they can't help looking the way they do, on top of which, if they want to express their sexuality, isn't this what you want? Aren't you craving this? Shouldn't the quartering be like a lot of bad things have happened, but good news, everyone. We got WAP. It's happened. Like, what the fuck? It's supremacy that matters. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. You called it. You called it. I was hoping I was gonna be able to do a whole thing there, but no, you kind of ruined that punchline. But yeah, no, it's the subjugation that's important in both cases. It's subjugating that's important.
Candace Owens says she's 100%
no, Moki
suing
Kisa,
Cardi B
you're right on point.
Rapper shares fake tweets
Smarty pants.
about pundit's husband cheating with bro. All right, so as we already know, Cardi B did a performance of WAP during the Grammys. Candace Owens had a very, very candid take on her performance, basically saying that it's degrading. It's, you know, basically the world's going to the America's going to hell in the handbasket. Okay, now they've been going back and forth, as I said in the last video or in this the live show. Where obviously Candace is going in on her about like, how are you going to be doing all that stuff, just, you know, gyrating and simulating lesbian acts live on a stage in front of millions on a platform like this, blah, blah, blah. Cardi B basically.
Hey, Candy B's a good name too. And honestly, I think so much of this comes down to like, maybe explain this to your kids, or don't let them watch. Really, that's always kind of been my thoughts on the culture war. Even back in the 90s when video games were degenerate. Do you remember that day? Back in the day, everyone, video games used to be degenerate. We had violent video games like Doom, Mortal Kombat, Night Trap. And then all of a sudden there were school shootings and everyone's like, well, it's the video games and it's Marilyn Manson. Actually, Marilyn Manson turned out to actually be, okay, well, fuck that. But it's the video games, you see. The video games are the things that are causing this. It's making all the kids have all this anger. They don't know how to express themselves, and then they have to shoot each other. It's because they've seen people shoot each other on Doom. Has nothing to do with our entire cinematic masterpiece theater of the Rambo movies, or no, it's not that. It's the video games. It's the video games, and it's also degeneracy. It's the pop music and the temptations of the flesh. Well, what are we to do?
Cardi B, in her tweet, not you talking about two women thrusting their vaginas together while your husband and brother slap, C and B's together. Well, would you look at that? Wow.
Yeah, we can
the
blame
tweet,
Marilyn Manson.
as you can
Fuck
see
Marilyn
here, is a little
Manson.
cut off,
Holy
so I'm
shit,
going to
fuck
see if I can
Marilyn
find it down here in this article. Yes, my man. Yes, my husband did cheat on me with my brother. It was a Photoshopped tweet. And yes, he said no when I asked to join them. That is in this tweet that Cardi B ended up retweeting or reposting. Now, apparently, Candace Owens is saying that this post was a Photoshopped tweet. It was fake. It is not a true post. Now, kind of not a good thing on Cardi B's side. Let's just be real. Because now, Candace Owens is going to be suing Cardi B.
Well, I mean, Cardi B is super rich at the end of the day. I think this will make a big old spectacle for both of them. Unfortunately, Candace Owens is probably going to win a lot. She'll get a lot of free press. Her side despises Cardi B. Her side despises sex workers. So they're going to love all that. They despise what they see as degeneracy. They despise female sexuality. They despise female body parts. They despise female arousal. They despise clitorises. So all of that's going to be like absolute gold for them. Yeah. This one won't end well, I think. It'll just end really well for Candace Owens, which nobody wants. What does Tim have to say about it?
Performed her famous song WAP at the Grammys. And a lot of conservatives and a lot of family people, I guess, were kind of shocked at the gratuitous nature of the performance. The ratings for the Grammys were down. The celebrities that were there were trying to act like it was this great and bold thing, but nobody really cared. In the end,
Candace went after Cardi B first. Won't that matter in court? Well, I mean, I'm not the person to talk to about anything other than bird law. You know that, political puppy. But when it comes down to this, that's not what she's going to be suing her over. She's probably going to sue her over slander. This is probably, I mean, we really need more lefty lawyers, so I just have access to one. I want an on-site lawyer who can just be like, oh yeah, sure, Lance, yeah, this is totally right. Oh no, this is completely inaccurate. There you go.
You end up with culture war outrage from conservatives, and I don't even want to say the left, because I don't know who's actually defending Cardi B other than Cardi B's fans. But this may seem like the least important story. The fight escalates on Twitter between Candace Owens and Cardi B. Candace Owens says you got to do better. You've got young black girls that are watching you. It's an important point I agree with. I'm also not offended in the least bit by
zero chance of
the
proving
performance for WAP. I do think the double standard in our culture is stupid. Like, this Dr. Seuss book is racist. It's got to go. Or
do I think Tim Pool's going to have a fair and measured take on this? Yes. Yes, I certainly do. This may be your first time watching me, but if you knew anything about me, you'd know that I'm definitely always in the corner of Tim Pool and anything he has to say.
Pepe Le Pew, he was, trying to hug, kiss that cat. Therefore, we got to get rid of it. But this one's fine. Okay, fine. It may seem like the least important story in the country right now. And yes, But what I'm going to be talking about,
It's not likely to succeed. American slander is incredibly hard to prove. You have to prove intent, and that's nearly impossible. Don't you have to also demonstrate financial losses? I know that's the difference between it in Canada. So in Canada, we don't have the same liberties that you do and freedoms that you do in America. See, in America, you can just sue anyone for anything almost, it seems like. In Canada, you have to demonstrate losses. So your purpose for suing someone has to be, well, yeah, I was at a store and I bit into a salad, and inside of the salad was a tooth, and that tooth actually chipped my tooth. So I can demonstrate a loss from the act of me biting into the tooth. Now, that can be extended to, I also experienced psychological trauma from having bitten into another person's tooth. So that as well has caused me something that I will have to seek assistance for, right? Something that might be out of the purview of the Canadian medical healthcare system. So in that case, yes, you have wronged me, you have caused me financial losses, and so I'm suing you for those financial losses. That's typically how civil lawsuits work in Canada. Suing for slander is pretty much impossible in the US. Well, yeah, because you have to be able to demonstrate A, it was done with intent, B, it was done maliciously, as in you knew that it was a lie and that you were intentionally using the lie to slander that other person. That's the part that's almost impossible to successfully do. So in the US, slander lawsuits usually come down to the monies, because the other side at one point or another will break. Like, you can represent yourself, but like no one has the skill to defeat high-powered legal teams, right? So when it comes down to it, you're probably going to crack under the weight of the fact that lawyers cost thousands and thousands of dollars every single time that you have to talk to them. They charge you by the hour. It's a whole thing.
I do think there is some there is something going on in the culture war that we should talk about, particularly with these lawsuits and the fake news. The story is basically that Cardi B posted a fake tweet about Candace Owens, her brother and her husband, defaming people who are not public figures. And Candace Owens is now threatening legal action. There's something really important to talk about here, in that mainstream press just rolls with Cardi B, essentially. They hate Candace Owens. So even though Cardi B is posting absolutely fake information, the headlines are what Cardi B said about Candace Owens as spat escalates to legal threats instead of...
I would like to say on the record, everybody, I didn't do that. I did my due diligence. There was good reporting here, and I prefer Cardi B to Candace Owens. I think Cardi B is more talented. I think she makes better music than Candace Owens. I'm a fan of the songs and the music videos. I like Anaconda. I like the music video because I like music. I'm a fan. I'm not biased, but I did my part. I did a good part. I happen to like WAP, and that's why I did what I did. But I had journalistic integrity, despite my love of WAP. I have journalistic integrity. Okay.
Instead of the headline being Cardi B.
I know it's the key. I know. Sorry, I got carried away. Everybody.
Posts fake tweet smearing Candace Owens.
What is this sellout?
It's an issue of this double standard in media. But the bigger picture here, and the why I feel like talking about this, we're a silly people. We are. We are a silly people, Tim. Sorry, I'm not taking Tim seriously. There's too many bits. It's bits within bits. Oh, speaking of bits, I actually have a prop I can show for Tim Pool. Give me 1 sec. But right now, the U.S. is embroiled in infighting. Talk about peaceful divorce, dissolution, cultural decay, of which I think we are undergoing at a rapid pace, and this is an example of it. Meanwhile, China is rapidly expanding. They're setting up, missile silos. They're building coal power plants. They're building new cities. And that's what Bill Maher was talking about the other day. We're a silly people, and they're very much a serious people. So let's do this. I want to show you all. Maybe there's some of you who don't care about any of that.
What is he talking about? Silly people. What's he talking about? We're serious people. This is all. What is he talking about? Silly people. He's talking about seriously. Is he turning the Cardi B thing into China, into the US's war drums on China? Are they related? I got to give it to Tim. I wouldn't have the gall to try and correlate those two things. I wouldn't be like, all right, so I'm going to open up my show. I'm going to talk to everyone about degeneracy, Candace Owens, Cardi B, and how the media just won't report on this, because obviously everything I report on, the media doesn't report on or touch on. But then I want to parlay the whole thing. I wouldn't mind parlaying the whole thing into China and how the U.S. should really go to war with China. Could also talk about how the Chinese men and the U.S. military, they're just more masculine. They're apparently feeding them raw meat and beer or something to raise their testosterone levels to just wild amounts, and that's important. That's important for everyone to know. So we need to talk about this.
Newsweek reports Cardi B and Candace Owens are feuding on Twitter again. But this time their spat has escalated to legal threats from both sides. The rapper's 2021 Grammy performance has sparked another war of words between the WAP hitmaker and the conservative pundit. In an appearance on Tucker Carlson Tonight Monday, Owens criticized Cardi's performance, saying it signifies the weakening of American society. Cardi then took to Twitter to thank Owens for giving her more views on Fox News. This appeared to incense Owens, who responded, "Just at me next time directly. You are a cancel sell to culture. Young black girls are having their minds poisoned by what you are trying to package and sell to them as empowerment." Now, I don't care if Cardi B wants to do what she does. I do, however, understand what Candace Owens is saying. We want people to be the best of the best of the best. I also think people have a right to be entertained by what they prefer. And if they want to watch the Grammys, so be it. But guess what? 53% rating drop. So I'm not going to sit here and complain. Cardi B can do what Cardi B wants to do. If she wants to perform, by all means, she can do it. And if they want to put her on TV, that's fine. Guess what? People didn't want to watch it. I wonder if one of the reasons people didn't want to watch Cardi B is because they got kids. And they're like, I don't want my kid watching that stuff. I got a lot of friends who got kids, and they talk about the problems of YouTube all day and night. So by all means, you do your thing. It's a relatively free market, not perfect, but fine. You'll just end up losing ratings and going out of business. Well, she continued, "I'm one of the few that has the courage to tell you the truth. You should thank me." From here, the argument got personal as the pair began to exchange increasingly sharp words with their combined millions of followers watching. Candace said, "Millions of young girls follow you. At your best, you are self-deprecating and humorous. At your worst, you are naked, shoving your privates into another one's privates while thrusting."
You can say vagina. It's not going to hurt you, Tim. There's dozens of them.
You're under threat by foreign adversaries, and you get a president like Joe Biden who's very deferential to China, whereas you had Trump who was very adversarial. And then you can just look at what China is doing. Right now, they're building more underground silos for ballistic missiles. The Pentagon is pushing for a bigger effort to deter China.
Again, I wouldn't have the gall. I couldn't even think of a segment where I'm like, I can't wait to do this. I'm going to start. I'm going to be talking about wet ass pussies. I'm going to be talking about Cardi B. Going to talk about the culture war. But I can parlay all of that into China. It's really easy. Trust me. I got this one. I can do some Chinese fear mongering right after. So how are you so brainwashed that you're like, Trump was hard on China? Because, Trump saying things out loud, as in Trump being racist towards Chinese people, that's not him being hard on China. Are you talking about tariffs? Because if you didn't understand this, Tim, tariffs directly impact you, an American consumer. They're not great for American consumers. It's not as if that's suddenly the largest exporter of goods globally is suddenly going to be like, oh, these tariffs, you say, you're imposing tariffs by charging more upon your imports. Well, that's unusual. What are we ever to do?
We're a silly people. And so our focus is going to be on celebrity gossip. It's tough. It really is. Because when I was looking at researching this subject and when I was trying to figure out what I thought would be something important to talk about.
We get to hear about the process. Neat. We don't normally get to see behind the beanie.
Definitely saw the Cardi B stuff going on with Candace Owens. And I thought it was interesting because of the fake news, how they will push these lies and they'll get away with it. We're now learning that there's this huge...
That's your entire fucking career. That's your life's work. That's all you do. Oh, you have to be more self-aware than this. Come on.
Scandal going on with a guy named Jordan. I don't think I can actually say his name on YouTube, so we'll call him Fuchs because his name is Fuchs. I don't think I can literally say his name because the algorithm, the AI on YouTube will read that as a swear, so I can't even say his name. But no offense to the guy, I'm not trying to be mean. But this guy apparently seeded a fake story to all of these different news outlets in order to make Trump look bad. And then when the story...
I was like, isn't that pronounced like Fex? Or Fuchs? Something like that? Why are they all so scared of swearing? Like, I don't understand it. I upload these videos to YouTube. Yeah, they get demonetized, but they get demonetized no matter what. I cannot talk about modern issues without worrying about that. So you might as well just enjoy the freedom of being able to swear again. Aren't you the ones who are constantly talking about how they take words away from you? Like, what is it? Is the N-word the only thing you ever want to say? Is it just like, well, if I can't have the N-word, I'm certainly not saying fuck or pussy. God damn no.
The actual recording came out and proved it was all wrong. What did we get? A lot of outlets refused to correct. They said, well, our framing is fine. The quotes weren't. And so instead of doing correction, we were wrong. Trump never said this. They said, Trump still did say these things, but just not verbatim. That's where we're at. Here we go. Owens was quick to deny that she wrote the tweet and berated Cardi
You just gave a little speech about how you were thinking about how you were going to start this conversation today, because clearly you wanted to get into Chinese fear-mongering, but you had to find a way to parlay it. And then we're back to Cardi B. Back to Cardi B. Last night, Cardi B openly lied about real Candace's family, and when called out on it, refused to retract the lie. Virtually the entire establishment media then celebrated Cardi B's supposed bravery in firing back at Candace. Aww. It's like the mainstream media is just all about the liberals. Oh, he just stays on Tim Pool. Okay. Well, good to know. Anyways, if any of y'all didn't know, this is absolute malarkey. I'm going to talk a little bit later about the United States fear-mongering when it comes to the Chinese, and why that is both something to keep an eye out of and also to pay attention to, because the United States fear-mongering, as well as Canadian fear-mongering, by the way, Canada just became, I think, the second or third country to say that officially we recognize what is happening to the Uyghurs as a genocide. Not a cultural genocide, but an actual genocide. Canada became the second country because the Conservatives pushed for that here. There is a very, very important line to be drawn between people who are going to call out actual atrocities being committed by a government, not the people, by a government of a country, which is why I don't on this program say, like, I hate Americans, because that's not true. I don't. I love Americans. I usually hate the American government. Actually, I do hate the American government. I'm going to just be frank. I hate the Canadian government as well. Don't feel bad. I hate the Australian government. I hate the New Zealand government. I hate most modern imperialist governments. They're doing bad things. And you know, the problem is if you say something like that, there's not really going to be a lot of nuance in terms of the internet's use of those clips. Like right now, those clips probably are going to be taken and there's going to be something on the internet where it's just going to be like, Lance hates America. It's like, no, it's the government, all right? I do not blame the entirety of the people for what the government itself is doing. And it's unfortunate because there's probably a lot of people within the country who do not want the government to be doing what it's doing. Can you explicitly say you hate the British Conservative government? I hate the British Conservative government. There you go. There's all your clips, everybody. Run with them. Run forward. But you know what's great? More than half of Canadians now believe in cutting ties with the UK monarchy in a poll conducted after the Harry and Meghan interview. This is what it took. This is what it took. I can't believe that. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I have such faith for humanity. You know, we're winning the culture war. It feels like ever since Bernie Sanders' 2006 run or 2005 run, the Overton window has shifted so much more to the left. People are so open to all these ideas. And then I see something like this, where it's just like, yeah, the British royal family, probably one of the most racist historical institutions, you know, they were heavily involved in the North Atlantic slave trade. They might be a little bit racist. They might have been curious about what color our baby's skin was going to be because they wanted us to be pure and Aryan, obviously. And so that alone was enough for like half of Canada to be like, what? Well, why? We've been living a lie. Why is the Queen our head of state? Why do we have the Queen on our money? Why is she on our bills? My God, we can't live this way anymore. This is not becoming. A new poll suggests that over half of Canadians believe the British monarchy is a relic the Canada should abandon, following Prince Harry and Meghan's explosive interview. I remember this polling like a decade ago. It was like 78% or something of Canadians are in favor of maintaining the monarchy in name only, just because they love it. When the Queen comes to visit, it's just like, oh my God, the Queen, all of Canada must, you know, like at least Australians are proud about their hatred of the monarchy, despite the fact that they still fall under its purview. Ledger Executive Vice President Christine Bourque said the interview and how Canadians are responding to its revelation should be considered a blow for the monarchy and those who believe that it has an important role to play in Canada. I think this probably would not have been true a few weeks ago. That sucks. What the fuck is wrong with you? 52% said the recent events involving the couple, which included the Duchess of Sussex divulging that she'd been driven to thoughts of suicide and that a member of the royal family had asked how dark her son Archie's skin might be, speak about a fundamental problem within the institution. 43% of respondents say the recent events show the royal family holds racist views. Well, I guess, I mean, whatever it takes. I just, maybe the idea of bread pilling people through traditional means was wrong. We need to start choosing more effective means to convince people of our topics. Like, WAP. Maybe Tim Pool is right.
Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Can you do the thing, you know, that thumbs up and comment and all those things that help us out in the algorithm that controls every aspect of our lives? Also, if you happen to have a Facebook account, can you delete it? Like, just delete it. You should probably delete your Facebook account because it's not a great company. But hey, if you can't do that for whatever reason, I understand. And could you also go to facebook.com/thesurftimes then and give us a little like and a follow. We're just trying to push back against the fact that people like Ben Shapiro happen to dominate the platform entirely. And when everyone asks why do older generations believe the things they believe, one of the problems is the majority of them on social media use Facebook. So to counter that, we're just going to be on there too now. Also, if you happen to have a union or a worker co-op or even a leftist project, podcast, website, Zoom, MySpace, it doesn't matter. We will advertise it for free on this channel. All you got to do is go to weareserfs.com and use the forms that we got there, weareserfs.com. Thanks, everybody.
To our glorious gods, Xander Corvus and I'm Wrath, may you shower us with glory and smite our enemies. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we serve at your leisure, your grace. To our lords, Toefox, Bisexual Black Gamer, Jimothy K. Meeble Beeps Jr., Ryan Lubin, Trevor R., Jeffrey Lamb, Alexander Thaler, and Hans Josephine, we shall carry your banner high into the fields of battle. To our Knights of the Round Table, Timothy Hart, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophagic, Saren 42, Chronic de Hemphog, Gail Kotka, The Great Pudini, Bone Jenny, Catherine, Radical Maniac, Ramon Acosta, Incosin, J. Fraser Cartwright, Thomas Barrington, Jimmy Bignuts, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Political Puppy, Andreas Chitoro, Goofalankius, Zach Christensen, Nicholas Marks, Yopi, Josh Mickelson, Melissa Murphy, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Constance Joyce Lacheris. We lift our glasses of ale and we salute you.